Meanwhile, in Umuri, Amara sat under the moon, eyes closed, whispering again, "Brother, you are near." And far away in his cave, Kelechi stood at the edge of the rocks, staring into the trees. The winds had changed. He knew Chukwuma had seen something. And soon Ogbonna would know too. High in the mountains, where no birds dared to land and no roots dared to grow, the wind held its breath. Ogbonna sat beside his tree. His skin was darker than night, his horns curled like rivers frozen in stone. His blade lay across his lap, still as death. His wife, silent, pale, and beautiful, sat near the roots, her hands brushing the earth like she was listening to it. Then the tree moved. Not much, just a slow creak. One of the sacks shifted, swayed, and made a soft sound, not from the wind, from memory. Ogbonna opened his eyes. He did not speak. He placed one hand on the tree. His fingers sank slightly into the bark, as if the tree breathed beneath him. "Someone has come," his wife whispered. He nodded. "Not a villager, not a fool." Again, Ogbonna nodded. His voice was low. "He is mine." Far below, Chukwuma sat in the cave, legs pulled close, still breathing hard from his run. His father stood across the fire, silent. "You saw it," Kelechi finally said. Chukwuma nodded. "You weren't supposed to." "What is it?" Chukwuma asked, voice shaking. "What's hanging from that tree?" Kelechi sat down slowly, as if his body carried years it had hidden. "Once," he said, "long ago there was a village, a strong village filled with good people, but a man from there broke a law no one should break, and the punishment was not fire. It was not death. It was something deeper." Chukwuma listened. They took the seed of the future from the men. Every male child cursed. The one who delivers the curse lives beside that tree. "That's what you saw?" Chukwuma's eyes widened. "And me?" he asked. "Why do I still have—" "Because I took you," Kelechi said quickly. "Before he came, I ran. I ran so far. I thought he'd never find you." Chukwuma stared into the fire, the truth burning deeper than any flame. "Will he come now?" he asked. Kelechi looked toward the cave mouth. The wind was moving differently now, like it was afraid. "He already knows." In Umweri, thunder rolled across the sky, though no storm had come. The king woke in a sweat. Dogs howled in the distance. Children clung to their mothers. And in her sleep, Amara began to cry. But this time, not in fear, in danger. Amara had always known she was different. She ran faster than the other girls, climbed trees the boys were afraid of, and asked questions no elder wanted to answer. Her mother often warned her, "Amara, you carry too much fire in your bones." But that fire had a purpose. She remembered the dreams, the voice, the name that came to her again and again, Chukwuma. She never saw him, never touched his face, but she knew he was real. And now something inside her chest stirred like a storm. That night, when the skies growled and the wind spun in strange circles, Amara stood outside her hut and said, "It's time." She took her sling, her cloth bag, and the knife her grandfather had given her when she turned 10. Then she walked past the sleeping village, past the king's house, past the sacred stones, past the trees that marked the edge of Umweri. She did not look back. She walked for days. The forest grew thick, the ground turned hard. Strange birds watched her from the trees, and the air grew cooler. She slept under branches and spoke to the stars. "Chukwuma," she whispered, "I'm coming." And the stars seemed to whisper back. In his cave, Chukwuma woke up suddenly. He sat up, heart beating fast. His father looked at him with worry. "What did you see?" Kelechi asked. Chukwuma shook his head. "I don't know, but she's near." Kelechi stood slowly. He had never seen this look in his son's eyes. A knowing, a pull. Then it's time you knew everything. He brought out a wrapped bundle from under the stone bed. LOS inside were old things. A piece of cloth from Umari, a necklace with a carved symbol of the village, and a torn corner of a birth cloth. It had two names stitched in faded thread. Chukwuma, Amara. Chukwuma stared at it. "My sister," he said softly. "She's strong," Kelechi said. "She cried so loud, Ogbonna turned away. That cry saved your life." Chukwuma's hands tightened. "We have to find her," he said. But before they could step outside, a shadow passed across the cave. In the mountains, Ogbonna's tree twisted. The sacks began to sway more violently. His wife stood still as stone, staring into the wind. "They are moving," she said. "They are coming together." Ogbonna picked up his blade, then let them come. The sky had changed. Clouds moved faster than they should. Birds flew low, and the trees whispered things they hadn't whispered in years. In the forest below the mountain, Amara pushed through thick brush. Her legs ached, her lips were dry, but her fire had only grown. She didn't know how close she was, only that every step forward made her feel more awake, more alive, like something buried deep inside her chest was leading her, heartbeat by heartbeat. Then she heard it. Footsteps. She spun, hand on her blade, but what stepped through the trees was not a beast. It was a boy. He was tall, lean, with skin the color of river clay and hair tied back with a strip of leather. His eyes locked onto hers, and in that moment time slowed. Chukwuma stopped, breath caught in his chest. Amara froze, her lips parting but no words coming out. They stared at each other. Then, without a word, they stepped closer. Amara reached for the necklace on her chest, half a symbol carved in wood. Chukwuma did the same. They matched perfectly. "You're real," she whispered. "I'm feeling the same way a yacht," so he said. Far above, Ogbonna stood at the edge of his mountain, blade in hand. He looked down toward the land below, eyes glowing like coals. His tree groaned behind him. The sacks twisted. The air thickened. His wife, still as ever, turned to him. "They are together now." Obina said nothing, but his blade pulsed. Back in the forest, Amara and Chukwuma sat beside a fire. Kelechi watched them quietly, tears in his eyes for the first time in years. He had carried the weight of silence for too long. Now fire and storm sat side by side, twin souls divided by a curse, reunited by fate. Amara told her story. Chukwuma listened with wide eyes. Then Chukwuma told his, and Amara clenched her fists. "We can't go back," Chukwuma said. "If Ogbonna finds us, he already knows," Kelechi said quietly. Amara stood, firelight dancing in her eyes. "Then we go to him." Kelechi looked up, startled. "What?" "We go to that tree, we go to that mountain, we face Ogbonna." Chukwuma stood too. "Amara, we were born together," she said, "and we will fight together. That curse was never meant to last forever. It's time someone screamed again." Kelechi rose slowly. He looked at the two of them, so young yet carrying the weight of generations, and then he nodded. "The mountain is steep," he said, "but I will show you the path." At the top of the mountain, Ogbonna stepped toward the tree. He raised his blade, and the sky broke with thunder. The sky cracked again as Chukwuma stared toward the mountain, the firelight flickering in his wide eyes. His fingers curled around the half symbol on his chest, still warm from Amara's touch. She sat beside him, watching his breath rise and fall, faster now, like he could feel the mountain calling him again. Their father, Kelechi, stood silently by the cave entrance, back turned, listening to the storm whispering over the rocks. Finally he spoke. "You cannot stay together." Amara turned quickly. "What?" Chukwuma's mouth opened, but no words came. Kelechi turned. His face was worn, tired, but firm. "Ogbonna is rising," he said. "His tree is restless, and now that your blood has touched, his eyes are wider than before." "But we're stronger together," Amara said. "You are," Kelechi agreed. "But strength will not keep you hidden. If he senses both of you, his rage will strike the whole land." Amara stepped forward. "So what? We split again. We hide while he hunts." Chukwuma's voice finally broke through. "What are you saying, father?" Kelechi stepped forward, placing a hand on his son's shoulder. "You must stay here, Chukwuma, for now." Chukwuma's jaw clenched. "Because you are the only seed Umweri has left. If Ogbonna finds you now, everything we've built will burn." They sat in silence for a long time. Then Kelechi placed a hand on Amara's shoulder. "You will return to the village. Speak to the king. Tell him there is hope that Umwari will live again, but it must move in shadows for now." Amara looked down. "I won't leave him again." "You won't be leaving him," Kelechi said gently. "You'll be protecting him." Chukwuma looked at her, eyes full of something heavier than fear. "I'll come back," Amara said. "When it's safe, when we're ready." Chukwuma nodded slowly. "And I'll be here waiting." At dawn, Amara left. She walked through the forest alone once more, but this time the trees bowed slightly as she passed, as if they knew. Chukwuma watched her disappear into the light between the leaves. His father stepped beside him. "She is fire," Kelechi said. Chukwuma nodded. "And what am I?" Kelechi looked at him, long and deep. "You are the storm that waits behind the hills." Far away, the tree of remembrance groaned again. Ogbonna sat beside it, motionless, but his blade pulsed. His wife turned to him. "The boy does not run now." "No," Ogbonna said. "He watches." "And the girl, she has fire, but not yet a flame." His eyes narrowed. "But something is growing." In the village of Umweri, Amara stepped into the king's courtyard. The elders rose. The queen dropped her clay bowl. The king stood, mouth open. Amara held out the cloth with Chukwuma's name stitched into it, and softly, with strength in every word, she said, "The son of Umweri lives." When Amara walked into Umweri, the earth felt different. The wind slowed. The birds that usually fled the village flew quietly overhead. The children stopped playing. Their eyes followed her, this young woman who walked with calloused feet and fire in her shadow. She did not speak to anyone. She walked straight to the king's compound, holding the small cloth bundle in her hands. It was wrapped carefully in leather. The thread inside it was faded, but the name stitched into it still burned, Chukwuma Amara. When the guards saw her, they froze. One reached for his horn to announce her, but Amara raised her hand. "I know the way," she said. They let her pass. Inside the great hall, King Yusuf sat with the elders. They spoke in low voices, their faces full of fear. Ogbonna's attack weeks ago had shaken them all. The king still wore a bandage across his arm. He looked older now. His voice had grown thin. "The curse tightens," one elder said. "We must offer another sacrifice, something to calm him." Another added, "Or we send Amara back to the hills. She's stirred something we cannot control." Just then, the doors opened and Amara stepped in. She walked to the center of the hall. Dust rose with every step. The elders fell silent. Even the king stood, heart pounding. "Amara," he said, almost breathless. "You're alive." Amara nodded. She unwrapped the leather bundle and lifted the cloth for all to see. The queen gasped. She recognized the stitch. "This," she whispered, "this belonged to—" Amara nodded again. "To Chukwuma, my brother." The room went still. A gourd fell from someone's hand and cracked on the floor. The queen stepped forward slowly. Where is he? Mara took a breath. He lives in the mountains, hidden. A whisper ran through the hall like wind through dry leaves. The king sat down heavily. A boy untouched by Agbana? Amara's voice grew stronger. He has everything the others lost. My father saved him when we were born. He was never found. The chief elder frowned. And you want us to believe this tale? We've heard ghost stories before. Amara looked at him, her fire rising. I saw the tree, she said. I saw the sacks. I met the boy. I bled beside him. I am not here for belief. I am here for the future. The queen stepped forward and placed her hand on Amara's face. You are fire, she said. Then she looked to the king. Let the flames speak. Later that night, under the stars, the elders gathered with the king and queen. They sat around the sacred stones, the same stones that had cracked when Agbana last struck. Amara knelt before them and spoke. There is hope, she said, but it must be quiet, hidden. We cannot bring Chukwuma here, not yet. But if the village sends its daughters in secret, young women of strength, they can meet him and rebuild our bloodline. The king's face was stone. And you believe this will go unnoticed? No, Amara said. Ogaban will feel it, but slowly, and by the time he sees the full light, it will be too late. The queen smiled faintly. Then let Umuri move like the river, she said, quiet, patient, and always flowing. And so that night a decision was made, not with drums, not with feasts, but with fire in the eyes of a girl and the flicker of new life in the dark. The moon was bright, but no drums were beaten, no horns were blown, no one danced, yet something had changed in Uyeri. It began with whispers, a few families, quiet ones, old ones who remembered what it meant to hope, began sending their daughters on gathering trips. Girls who had just come of age, smart ones, brave ones. They left quietly in the early hours, carrying nothing but a satchel and the stories Amara had passed on, and they did not return alone. Far in the mountains, Chukwuma stood beneath a tree, not the cursed one, but a tall, proud tree on a high ridge. From here he could see the smoke from Umweri's cooking fires far below. Every time the path rustled and a new girl arrived, he bowed respectfully and greeted her by name. He did not force love. He offered a future. The mountain cave, once cold and silent, now echoed with the voices of young women learning how to survive, how to track, how to raise fire without smoke. Chukwuma taught them all, and soon they began to carry his seed. Months passed, and in Umeri the women began to swell. One by one, the girls who had returned with roots and herbs now walked with their hands on their bellies, round, proud, silent. The village didn't celebrate publicly, but the elders watched. The old women, who had not seen a child born in a decade, wept behind their huts. And the queen, who once feared Umeri would die, smiled each time she passed a growing belly. The king ordered silence, but in the corners of the land new songs were being written. But Agbana was not deaf. High above, in the mountain where the cursed tree stood, he sat motionless. His wife knelt beside the roots, humming low songs to the bones buried beneath. Suddenly the tree stopped swaying. Agbana opened his eyes. One of the sacks had dried. Another had not moved in days. He stood slowly. The wind seemed afraid to touch him. There is silence, he said. His wife stopped humming. There is life, she whispered. Agbana gritted his teeth. They hide the seed. Obana's eyes snapped open beneath the tree of remembrance. A storm of rage burned behind them, hot, ancient, and unstoppable. His voice, low and thunderous, cracked through the forest like lightning. They hid a seed, he growled. They dared raise a boy under my nose. The cursed pods hanging from the tree began to sway violently as red mist coiled around his feet. His clawed hand pressed against the bark. The tree shuddered under his touch. Then Umueri shall be erased. The women shall wail, and the boy— He tilted his head slowly, eyes glowing like fire beneath his twisted horns. The boy shall burn. Far below in the valley of Umueri, a strange wind rose. Cattle stirred, children cried in their sleep, and the earth itself seemed to hold its breath. The drums of the ancestors began to beat, slow, heavy, warning. In the dark hall of the elders, a single flame flickered. In the forest, the branches bowed. Ogbonna turned to his wife, whose face was pale with dread. They broke the law of blood. He raised his arm, and the sky above the tree roared. Will Chukuma survive the wrath of the god? Can Umueri be saved? To see how the story unfolds, type continue in the comment section, only on Nolly Folktales.